folks. It was a pretty significant struggle for Austin High, both on the mound and in the rest of the field and from the batting order. I mean, there's not much to say about it, right? You lose 19 nothing. You're down 10-0, 10 runs scored on 3 hits after the first inning. There's not much to say. There's not much to take away. There's not much to break down, other than it was not Austin High's night from Jump Street, right out of the gate, and it didn't matter what you did or what you could have possibly offered to the Maroons. It was going to be a long afternoon. Now, here's the good news for Austin High as you come back into this. Austin High has an opportunity to kind of reset, clean slate, right? You lose 2 series in a row, get swept 2 series in a row. Lose to Dripping Springs, lose to Westlake. 2 of the better teams in the district, by the way. Now you have an opportunity to kind of reset, come back down to earth a little bit here, and go up against an Akins team that right now currently sits at the bottom of the district, and they're trying to work their way out of that basement right now, and they're hoping to do it against an Austin High team that's coming down on the downswing after sweeping Del Valley to open up district play. So an opportunity for Austin High to reset, kind of get themselves back to right? Kind of a back to basics week for Austin High, and really back to full health, over these next couple of weeks. Jason Martinez, one of those players who's been banged up and out of the lineup a little bit, back fully reinserted. He'll be back out in the outfield, not at center field like he has been. They slide him over to right. Luke Whalen has come in and really kind of centered himself in this center field spot here for the Maroons. Now, that being said, Martinez will continue to be your leadoff hitter. We'll set the lineups and everything for you here in just a little bit. But that really sets the stage, and you get Carter Hayden coming back here onto the mound. Had to close out last week, and that was tough for him after starting against Westlake to open up the week. So, I mean, losing Martinez and not having Martiak available really kind of hinders you from a pitching standpoint. You get really thin, and when you get thin, you kind of put yourself into, some unique spots. Now, all that being said, what's not unique, Bodie Martiak is currently the DH here tonight. He'll be kind of the backup, I think, pitcher to Carter Hayden tonight. We'll see how the Coach A decides to play that. And some of those things, we were out at, Liberty Hill last week. A lot of those things, a lot of the pitching changes, they're not set in stone, right? It really is so dependent on when you make certain changes and things like that, and it's not something you can, you want guys prepared coming into the game, coming into the week, of guys who can go, right? And knowing where you stand on your pitch counts, what's allowed, what's not allowed, and knowing where things stand in that regard. But you also want guys to be able to be prepared when called upon. And some of those are really situational, right? Certain situations you may go to one guy versus a different guy, right? Taking into account lefty versus righty, taking into account how many outs, what inning, base paths, how has one guy looked, how has, another pitcher looked kind of throughout the course of practice, and what have you. That all sets a stage, and it all comes into it and informs the decision. That's how we get here. That's where we're at coming into this game here tonight between Akins and Austin High. We're getting set for the meeting at the plate, so we'll take a quick break, pay a couple bills when we come back. The Maroons, the Eagles, here from Burger Field for the first of this 2-game series when we return.
At Horizon Bank, we're from here. With over 100 years of experience serving Central Texas customers and headquartered right here in downtown Austin, we're proud to support our community and the athletes who keep it strong. Stop by any of our Austin and Central Texas locations and see how we can help you meet your goals. We'd love to meet you. Or you can visit us on the web at horizonbank.com.
Hi, I'm Jenny Covert. Welcome to Covert Chevrolet in beautiful Bastrop, Texas, where small town values drive big time savings. At Covert Bastrop, we understand what matters to you most. A good deal, great service, and dealing with people you trust. What matters to you matters to us. Rooted in family values since 1909, the Coverts have been serving Central Texas for 6 generations. We want to be your car dealer. Let us prove it. Covert Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop. Together, let's drive. CovertBastrop.com.
Welcome back in. David Roy here in the broadcast booth. We'll get you sent the lineups here in just a minute. Currently running through the Akins lineups. We'll turn it over to Mr. Gilbo Moreto when we get to that point. But you know, before we get there, you know, this really does, as we've talked about, it sets a pretty big stage here for Austin High, right? Have to get back to form. Have to get back. Talk about the district race. We talk about winning records. We talk about, you know, being at 500. Austin High has to get back to form coming into tonight, coming through this series. We'll have a non-district game next week against San Marcos. That'll be an April 10th game. So not next Tuesday, but next Friday, that game will take place. So you get a little extended time, get a break in, get a non-district game, and then you're going to reset, go into that Bowie series. It's going to be a really big series for Austin High. The way that's shaping up, winner of that series is going to determine that final playoff spot here in the district. So with that, let's set for you the Maroons lineup. So there you have it, your Maroons lineup. Jason Martinez to get the start at the plate, followed by Charlie Nice and Patrick Bird for your top third of the order. Then Jimmy Bramble, Bodie Martiak, Luke Whalen brings out the middle third, and then the bottom third, the last of the lineup, Osby Contreras, Zach Huff, and Ames Alejandro. Well, the stage has been set. We'll set for you here the defensive lineups for the Maroons on your screen right now. Carter Hand gets started on the mound. His battery mate, Osby Contreras. Then through the infield at first, Jimmy Bramble. At second, Ames Alejandro. Third base, Zach Huff. Patrick Bird, your shortstop, is reliable. Charlie Dice out at left, and the big change The biggest change of the lineup and the order and what we've seen so far is the switch. Martinez moves over to right. Luke Whalen takes his place at center field. Over the past few weeks, that had been flipped, and then Whalen had to move over to center. While Martinez was out of the lineup, Shipper would fill in at right field, and Martiak would fill in. And since then, Luke Whalen has held that spot down. So kudos to Luke Whalen. Well, that sets your stage. That's how we get here for the Maroons to get their start here tonight. I'll bring up Lucas Croca. Here to the plate to get the start here tonight. So the stage is set. We'll see Carter Hayden on the mound first. Not sure, this is kind of a test. See if James Scott is listening. I haven't had a chance. I meant to text him, ask him if he wanted to come on for this series. I'll have to ask him if he wants to be on at all during the Bowie series. Doesn't have to be long. But James, if you're listening, more than welcome. Shoot me a text. We can discuss it. We can figure out when you want to come on, what series, if you want to be on for the Bowie series, more than happy to have you. But either way, wherever you are in this great world, if you're just tuning in, if you're tuning in on your way from work, you're heading home, you're at home, still at work, pull up a chair, grab a bag of popcorn, grab a drink, favorite beverage, and just pull up a chair, have a seat, because it's time for Maroon baseball. And Carter Hayden's going to start with a wind-up pitch. And Carter Hayden comes out wheeling and dealing. Strike one already with some of the problems that plagued Austin High last week in that second game against Westlake. Had a tough time finding the zone, throwing strikes. Carter Hayden coming out. A quick 0-2 count here for Lucas Croca. Took the first one down the pipe. Second one, he fouled off. And it's a nice pitch from Carter Hayden. Comes back. Tacks high. On a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way again from Hayden. Stays high, flirting towards the outside corner. Evens up the count, 2-2. And pitch, swing and a miss. And that's one away. Lucas Croca goes down on strikes. Took a big wave, and that'll bring up JoJo Gonzalez.
First base is number 23, JoJo Gonzalez.
Carter Hayden fires. That was a really nice pitch. I thought he dropped it in. Off speed, breaking ball. And just couldn't get it to drop in. Has that vertical movement. This gets fouled away by Gonzalez. Righty versus lefty here. Man, I thought that first pitch, I thought we'd be sitting here 0-2 based on that. The way Hayden's first pitch dropped in, I thought it caught the inside corner of the zone. That one hanging on the outside edge. Doesn't get the call. 2-1 now the count. Carter Hayden in his bag today. This one popped up. Osby Contreras tracked it all the way to the roof of the fans' stadium here. Two count. Hayden from the windup fires. And getting some tough calls again. Thought that one right on the edge of the zone there. 3-2 count. Trying to be a little bit of a Rembrandt here today. That one I don't agree with either. That was certainly over the plate. I thought it dropped into the top third of the zone. Instead, they'll call it a walk. Ball 4. So that puts Gonzalez on first, brings up the left fielder, Jackson Sejas. Gonzalez. I thought Gonzalez might have had a courtesy runner out there. He did not. 1-0 count. Sejas able to put this in play. Huff fields it pretty well. Throw to first is in time. And that's out number 2. Does advance JoJo Gonzalez.
Up there for Akins, the DH, number 24, Alonso Suarez.
That was a nice, decent little hit there from Sejas. I don't think it quite went where he wanted it to, but he pulls it left. Is able to advance Gonzalez. Brings up the DH, Alonzo Juarez. With 2 away, 1 on and in scoring position. Carter Hayden comes out attacking outside, and that's strike 1. So this umpire kind of has his zone shifted. Just a little bit, at least for these right-handed hitters right now. That Hagen pitch was outside, check swing, and again, strike 2. So 0-2 count. Pitch on the way. And they'll go for ball 1. Pitch. And the dirt, and a decent block there by Contreras. 2-2 count. And the 2-2. Big swing and a miss there from Juarez. And that'll retire the side. Leaves one stranded. Through the half part of the frame. First half, top of the first, still scoreless here from Burger Field. Jason Martinez will take to the plate when we return to lead off the bottom of the first here on the Vipe Live Network.
Nance Orthodontics is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontics for the Austin community. Dr. Nance is a board-certified orthodontist and offers Invisalign and braces to create beautiful smiles. Our friendly team is passionate about creating beautiful, life-changing smiles for all ages with the latest technological advances. Patient comfort and happiness are our highest priority. Give us a call for your complimentary consultation today.
You don't need to adjust your screen. You don't need to reset. That was just me adjusting the camera. I know it tilted on you very suddenly, folks at home. But either way, Maroons get their chance here to try and draw first blood. Bottom of the first. On the way here right now, Carter Hayden has been efficient for Austin High off the mound. Marcos Malicia looking to do the same for the Eagles of Akins. first. Martinez going to lead off. Alicia, the right-handed pitcher. Martinez, as usual, in that left-hand batter's box. It's a little righty versus lefty here to get you started. As the fans trickling in from work on both sides. Will be a full house here probably in about the next half hour to an hour. Alicia's first pitch too low, below the zone. Martinez, this one pulls on him, ground out over to first.
Up next for Maroons, left fielder number 4, Charles Dice.
And that'll be one away. That brings Charles Dice to the plate for his first plate appearance of the series. Martinez ground out to first. It just skipped down the way. The pitch upstairs, ball one. One 0 count here for Charles Dice. Pitch, Dice. Grounds this over to second. The throw to first is in time. Not that it was close to begin with. So quick 2 up, 2 down. Patrick Bird looking to change that here. 2 away here for the Maroons. Nobody on. Jimmy Bramble would be on deck here for Austin High. Pitch on the way from Alicia. Big swing and miss. I think he'd chase that one up. Oh, 1 to count. Alicia from the windup. Gets the outside edge, 0-2. Pitch. Swing and a miss. So that'll retire the side. So very quickly, only 15 minutes into this contest, we're thrown inning. Still scoreless here from Burger Field. Carter Hayden goes back to work on the mound when we come back. You're watching the Vibe Live Network, your home for Maroon baseball.
Almost every day, banking touches some aspect of your life, from growing your business, saving for retirement, or planning for future generations of your family. That's why it's so important to pick the right financial partner. The good folks at Plains Capital Bank have deep roots in Austin, serving Central Texas owned and operated businesses for over 20 years, from commercial real estate to managing your wealth. You can find them at plainscapital.com or call them at 457-7500. And when you talk to them, be sure to tell you that my friend Paul said hello, member FDIC.
Welcome back in. Very efficient inning from Alicia. Helps when you get a few groundouts in the way that you do. And speaking of which, it will be Marcus Malicia who is up to the plate.
Pitcher number 9, Marcos Alicia.
Malaysia got out of that first inning throwing only 7 pitches. It's 11 less than Carter Hayden threw in that first inning. Malaysia showed bunt. Was moving with it too, and doesn't connect with the barrel of the bat on that bunt attempt. So 0-1 count. Hayden fires this one. Waved at 0-2 count. That's what'll bring Carter Hayden to pitch number 20. For him here on the afternoon. On deck, Alfonso Ramos. And then Ravine Waniachichi. It's your 5, 6, 7 hitters here. Ball 1, Malaysia fouls it off. 1-2 count. One thing I know, appreciate, we talk about Carter Hayden, we talk about some of the pitching. Carter Hayden, never afraid to throw strikes. And then, you talk about pitching strategy, where your strategy, you're varying. There's strike 3, put it backwards, K next to Malaysia's name, he goes down looking. And one of the things that you can appreciate when you watch Hayden throw is, because some guys will vary location in terms of height, right? Upper portion of the zone, lower portion of the zone, and they get kind of stuck alternating along that line. And it's really easy, right? Some guys just kind of get stuck on that line, up, down, and they kind of leave it at that, and then they vary their speed. What Hayden does is he, a little bit more complete in that regard, right? Very speed, yes. Very height on the zone, yes. That one, strike 3 low. Sits Ramos down looking.
Now batting for Akins, right fielder, number 8, Ravine Waniachichi.
But, he varies location along the zone, horizontally as well. And for, having that 3/4 kind of over the top arm slot, does a really good job about varying location along the zone, along that x-axis, if you will, or horizontally. So 0-2 count. So, he really good variations. Breaking balls coming in here. And this one, nothing breaking about that one, just straight working the outside edge. Strike 3, gets out of there. Only throwing 10 pitches in the second inning, 29 total for Carter Hayden thus far. We'll see if the Maroons can drive up Malaysia's pitch count, give Carter Hayden a little bit of a break. When we come back, bottom of the second, you'll see Jimmy Bramble when we return here on the Vital Life Network.
Maroon Baseball is supported by Austin's oldest independently run pharmacy, Terrytown Pharmacy. Founded in 1941, Terrytown Pharmacy has been family-owned and operated since 1950, and the Newberry family is loyal forever. Visit Terrytown for great customer service, incredible gifts, and necessities. If you haven't transferred your prescriptions yet, give them a call. Thank you, Terrytown Pharmacy, for your consistent annual support of Maroon Athletics. Terrytown Pharmacy, online at terrytownpharmacy.com.
Welcome back in. Beautiful Tuesday evening on an Easter weekend coming up. As such, your normally scheduled Friday broadcast got moved to Thursday. There's some talk, too, about it potentially getting moved up again. We'll see if that happens. I think we're kind of past that point for you to do that. I don't know that you can move it up this late. Right now, now currently slated for a Thursday start. Some of the Friday games got moved up to Wednesday. Some are getting pushed back to being left on Friday or even being pushed into Saturday. Currently slated, though, Austin High Akins Part 2 will be coming on Thursday night at 6 o'clock back here at Burger Field. So note 1 hour later in terms of your start time here on the Vibe Live Network. This pitch in for strike one from Alicia, working against Jimmy Bramble here. Bramble's first plate appearance on the evening. Pitch out, head level. Bramble had to duck underneath. Evens up the count at 1-1. From the windup, pitch down away, and after a quick strike from Alicia and an efficient start, finds himself for the first time down in the count 2-1 here against Jimmy Bramble. Really good plate discipline from Bramble. Really always kind of liked Bramble. I thought he's got a solid build, good fundamentals at the plate in particular. He's done pretty good at first base. You know, can't complain about that, but I think from an offensive capability, he does a pretty good job able to get on base or drive in runners. Is really why he's found himself in this 4 spot here in the lineup. 2-2 count. Martiak on deck. Pitch on the way from Alicia. Bramble able to pull this into the gap between the 5 and 6 spot, out in between third and short. And Jimmy Bramble with a base hit single to get the Maroons started and on the base paths for their first hit on the evening.
Now batting for the Maroons, DH number 7, Bodie Martiak.
So that brings Martiak. Now Martiak's kind of their, he's their DH, but he's also really kind of more of a utility type player. They've moved him to first. They've put him out in the outfield. He's been able to throw off the mound. Can really do it all and offer something a lot of times here from behind the plate. Homered against Liberty Hill earlier this year. Or out at Liberty Hill. It was against Belton. They did that. Out here at Burger Field, left field only 311, just like it is out at Liberty Hill. 341 out at right field. Bramble on the move, and he'll beat the throw to first. Martiak takes the strike, but Jimmy Bramble takes second base. And so that'll put him in scoring position for Martiak. He can put one in play here. Bramble has got some speed to his game. Alicia having to look over now. Having to be cognizant of Bramble. Martiak pulls this one. That'll get through. In between third and short. And your left fielder, Kronka, bobbled it out there. And so that will allow Bramble to score. And Martiak will pull into second. And Austin High is on the board first.
Batting for the Maroons, center fielder number 3, Luke Whalen.
So right now, there's a hole in the Akins defense, and it's out between third and short. That's 2 back-to-back base hits where Austin High has put one in the gap between third base and the shortstop. Pitch on the way from Alicia, swing and a miss. Luke Whalen. Alicia's pitch sat high in the zone. Whalen took a chance on it, couldn't connect. The 0-1 count, but they have driven Alicia up to 15 pitches. He only threw 7 in the first inning as Whalen fouls off the 0-1. Still nobody out here for the Maroons, but one in scoring position. Osby Contreras on deck. That wind has picked up, pushing back in here. The 0-2 count here for Luke Whalen. Pitch on the way. Whalen Pops this one, lifts it. Martiak drifts, and that gets down. Kroka dove for it, couldn't get there. And so, I mean, they'll score an error. Rightfully so. But the most important part, that's 2 on, 1 in scoring position, and a chance here with nobody out. If I'm Coach A, I see what Osby Contreras maybe does here, but I wouldn't be afraid to put a play on here with a 1st and 3rd situation. So for your Akins, have to be cognizant here. 1st and 3rd. Usually you put on a play, make first to go, force them to have to worry about Waylon over at first and kind of sneak Martiak down the line from 3rd. So have to be aware if you're Akins. Austin High. See what they can put on here. Milicia threw it back to first. Now they come out with a pitch out. And it was intentional, very clearly intentional. You know, Gonzalez pops up, you know, sits over. He's looking down the line here. Cozy right here. And the throw to first, they'll catch Waylon there in the pickoff. Coach A not too thrilled with that. So 1-0 count now for Contreras. Maroons aren't going to have the help of a 1st and 3rd play now. They're going to have to be a little bit more cognizant, a little bit more careful. .3-0 count now for Contreras. I don't know why it's having problems. I think there's just a short here there. It's all the dust that's been accumulated this baseball season. I have to clean the mixer. Hopefully nobody at home is hearing the buzzing in my, you know, I hear it in my headset. Drives me nuts, but hopefully you don't hear it. 3-1 count either way for Contreras. 21 pitches here for Milicia. 1 out. And there's strike 2. Brings the count full. Payoff pitch here from Milicia. Fires. Contreras catches all of it, rocks it out there to center. Martiak tags up and will slide into home. And the sac fly will score. And that'll bring up Huff. So bottom of the second, 2 away here. And a 1 count. It's Huff. Just went ahead, took that first pitch. Alejandro on deck. Here's the 0-1 from Milicia. Drops in. Doesn't get the call, though. 1-1 the count. So the 1-1 pitch. Trying to block this wind here for you. Two 2-1 count here for Zach Huff. And this pitch outside. Whoa, they got the call. Strike 2. This is a constantly shifting zone here tonight. That was way outside. A little Central Texas Dirt Devil gets kicked up. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Down in the dirt. Ball 3. That'll bring the count full here for Zach Huff. He's got 2 away, but the Maroons here in the bottom of the second have managed to score 2. So they'll hold a 2-0 lead going into the third, irregardless of this plate appearance here from Huff. It's first in the series. Payoff pitch from Alicia. Fires. That'll get through. A little bit of a swing strikeout. And so Huff came on a move. You saw the umpire out there kind of waving it off. He didn't need to. Kind of hurried quite the way he did. I'll put 1 on for the Maroons. Brings up Ames Alejandro. So a strong appearance here from Alejandro can help further the Maroon cause. 2 away. 2 have scored. 1 on here for Austin High. Throw back over to first. Huff, I don't think he's sliding quite as much as he thinks he is when he dives back. Like, I think he's, you know, they kind of gotten used to playing on turf a little bit, so I think they're used to a little bit more slide. And instead, he's kind of getting stuck, so he kind of had to swim and reach. That pitch on the way is a ball, and Huff slides into second. Nearly took out the shortstop's legs, and saw Huff pat him on the back. But a 1-0 count here for Ames Alejandro, and Huff with the steal puts him in scoring position. That shortstop now taking a wider gap here, trying to close down that gap between himself and third, which is where the vast majority of the Maroons base hits have come from here today. Alejandro fouls this off. You know, and so far, nothing really flashy, right? Just kind of a little bit of small ball kind of mentality. Just a couple base hits, nice and easy, kind of help yourselves out. Not necessarily crunching everything out into the outfield, but just so far some smart base running. And a 1-1 count, and Alejandro twists out of the way of that one. 2-1 now the count. Pitch on the way. So 3-1 count here for Ames Alejandro. Jason Martinez, the top of the order, will be back on deck. Swing and a miss. But the pass ball brings Huff around the corner and will set him up 90 feet away with a full count here for Ames Alejandro. So remember how I said earlier, regardless of Huff's, plate appearance, well, now that plate appearance has led to him, thanks to a couple, a steal, pass ball, has helped him now be 90 feet away. So this is a big opportunity for Alejandro to record the RBI. Base hit would do just that. And again, the shortstop has pulled. A big, wide open field in behind. If Alejandro could put this right back to sender, and instead takes this up over the top of the zone for ball 4. That brings Jason Martinez. And we'll put runners at the corners. 2 away. Milicia up to 35 pitches here, by the way. Martinez showed bunt. So 1-0 count. As he didn't follow through. Now time called with Coach A. He's going to come and have a talk between him and Martinez. And Zach Huff started to come over, and Coach A told him, "What are you doing? Go back." It's a little direction, a little assistance here for Martinez. It's one thing I've always appreciated with Martinez. Always usually has some kind of a plan when he comes to the plate. Some guys just don't. They don't come to a plate with a plan, and Martinez is usually one of the ones who always does. This one inside, and it skips away. It's a massive pass ball, as it will allow Zach Huff now to come around and score. And allows Ames Alejandro to advance down the line to second. On a 2-0 count now here for Jason Martinez. 2 away, but the Maroons with a 3-0 lead. Pitch on the way. Upstairs, ball 3. .30 count, 3-0 lead for the Maroons and Martinez. Milicia finds his own there for the 3-1. This will be pitch 40. Keep in mind, coming into this inning, Carter Hayden had thrown 19 pitches. Strike 2 there from Alicia as Martinez waves over the top. Carter Hayden thrown 19 pitches. Milicia came into the inning only throwing 7. Marcus Milicia has now thrown 33 to only to Hayden's 10 here in this second inning, as that one just takes just kind of corkscrews off the bat there, fly out over to first. It's really kind of coasted its way over. It was in on the hands, usually what caused that. Well, either way, it's a 3-0 lead. And the Maroons, they've driven up Milicia's pitch count, giving Carter Hayden a little bit of a break. He'll come back to work, though, when we return. The top of the third on the way here on the Vibe Live Network.
Huh. Guess I'll call Radiant.
Hey, come back here. I got this.
I just didn't feel appreciated. I was leaking for days and they never helped.
Here, this will help.
Your toilet shouldn't run. But if it does, call Radiant.
Welcome back. Been a busy afternoon for the Maroons. They score 3 in the bottom of the second. Carter Hayden looking to hold that 3-0 lead as we turn this over to the top of the third. Pitch number 30. It's chopped down the line to Huff. They call it fair. Huff tries to rip it over to Bramble, and it will come up a few ticks late. Ricardo Ramos able to snag a base hit. Here, top of the third. I'll bring up Celso Becerra. 1 on, nobody out. Pitch 30 from Carter Hayden. Malaysia got out of that second inning throwing 41 total. And that one just foul from Becerra. Puts him down 0-1 on the count. One pitch on the way, trying to lay down the bunt. Strike 2. As Becerra just couldn't get the barrel over and lined up. Carter Hayden's pitch down in the dirt for ball 1. 1-2 count. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So Carter Hayden records the out, and that'll turn the lineup over.
Shortstop, number 7, Lucas Croca.
I'll bring up Croca. Sat down on strikes his last time up. Pitch on the way, this one. Down to the outside edge. Like I said, constantly shifting zone, it feels like, here this evening. 1-0 count. Pitch. Way down the way into the other side batter's box. That one not close at all. 2-0 count, runner on the move. This one popped. It's up and over. It's Alejandro. I think he would have had a chance on it. I think he just mistimed the jump. And the throw from Whalen for the cutoff. And so a significant base hit from Croca leads to a double with only 1 out. So Carter Hayden have to do some work to get out of this jam he has found himself in. Tying run at the plate right now for Akins. And Carter Hayden's pitch popped in the air. And selling underneath it, Patrick Bird for the out. That's out number 2. So 2 away. 2 on. Now brings Sejas to the plate. And now finds himself with a chance, with the speed that Croca has, base hit. Should, in theory, score 2, would pull this within a run for Akins if Sejas can put this in play. 1-0 count. Make that 2-0. That pitch pulls Carter Hayden's count even with Malaysia on the afternoon. The 2-0. Wow. That dropped in. Pretty interesting ball 3. I think it should be 2-1, but I'm not in blue, and there's a strike call. Kind of feels like a little makeup call. 3-1 count. You know, it's a 3-1. There's ball 4. That loads the bases. It's times like this, you know, I was out at Liberty Hill over the weekend for their senior day. And, you know, I mentioned that to say that, you know, all the dads out there, right? The, you know, baseball parents, guys who know, usually, you know, when you set up out there, you set up on one side of the press box and, you know, home side, dad's standing there right behind you. And as you're set up there, you can hear them chirp, and sometimes they're chirping right at. Huff flips it to Bramble in time. That'll record the out. No runs will come aboard, and the Maroons, thanks to Zach Huff, making the connection with Jimmy Bramble. Get Carter Hayden out of the jam. No runs scored. Maroons hold on to a 3-0 lead. 46 pitches thrown there for Carter Hayden. So he comes out, throws 17 in the third. We'll see what Akins puts out and what Milicia can do when we come back. Charles Dice will lead you off the bottom of the third when we return. You're watching the Vipe Live Network, your home for Maroon baseball. Welcome back in. Well, it's been a pretty good battle so far, I would say, but Austin High got their bats going against Milicia. Charles Dice, his last time up, got sat down on strikes. See what he yields for the Maroons in his second plate appearance here on the evening. Pitch on the way from Alicia in there for strike one. One count here. Milicia's pitch inside for ball 2 as Carter Hayden has to slide back just a little bit. Hayden pops this one. Beats a throw to first. It skipped. And by the time
Next for Maroons, shortstop, number 6, Patrick Bird.
Ramos was able to pick it up and make the throw, he was already a few steps too late. So Patrick Bird with one on, nobody out. Throw back over to first. hold dice there. Milicia has given up a couple stolen bases here this evening. Starting, I think, to get to him a little bit. Pitch on the way. And the throw got through. Got by Jojo Gonzalez. So as a result of the error, it was almost like a pitch out again. Worrying about him. And Charcosi's throw gets by Gonzalez and allows Dice to advance down the line to second. Puts him in scoring position. That helps Bird. One 1-0 count for Patrick Bird. This one down to the dirt. 2-0. Now here for Bird. Here's Milicia. Fires. Ball 4. So they'll walk Patrick Bird. No movement from the Akins side of things just yet.
First baseman number 1, Jimmy Bramble.
Grambo will come back out now. Here we got a little bit of movement. Meeting at the mound here for Akins. Jimmy Bramble's last time up really got the Maroons started on their little scoring drive there. And the bottom of the second. Beautiful evening here. The wind's not quite gusting or blowing quite as hard as what it was a couple weeks ago, last week even especially. And right now, a little cloud cover kind of rolling into here. Beautiful sunshine in. Some partial clouds. It's ahead of the rain and storms projected to come later this weekend. Two on here for the Maroons, nobody out. Milicia being left at the mound. We do have some action in the bullpen here for Akins. Bramble shows bunt, pulls it back, 1-0 count. That puts Milicia up at 50 pitches thrown here on the evening. The 1-0 from the windup. Bramble lays the bunt down. Beautifully executed bunt. And then the throw is high. So Jimmy Bramble rounds the line down to second on the air. And that's how Charles Dice will come aboard. And the Maroons add one to their lead. And that will do it for Marcus Milicia on the mound here this afternoon. Dallas Rodriguez will now take Marcus Milicia's place on the mound. Can't close the book yet on Marcus Milicia. Of course, he's still responsible for your runners at second and third here for Austin High. He's given up 4 thus far on 5 hits. 3 errors committed, though, by Akins. We've talked before, really in the Dripping Springs game especially, your margin of errors are very, very slim sometimes in these games. And against better talented teams or against better teams overall, when you come into those, because the margin of error is so slim, you can't really afford to commit on air, let alone commit 3. It's come back. It has haunted Austin High a few times in some of those spots. Again, the game against Westlake last week, that game 1 where it was a really close game early on. The game against Dripping Springs, game 1, that game 1 game back here on Burger Field where it was 19-7 was the final score, right? The errors come back and they haunt you. And in a game of inches, right, the margin of error is so slim. You talk about game of inches in terms of the difference between a ball and a strike, the difference between a hit and a foul or an out, the difference between being safe on a bag or being thrown out at a bag. Margin of error in terms of a throw, whether it's caught to hold a runner or it sails and creates an extra 90 feet and even a given up run.
Now back in the rows, TH number 7, Bodie Mardiak.
So that brings Bodie Mardiak to the plate here against Dallas Rodriguez, coming in relief of Marcos Milicia. 2 on here for the Maroons, nobody out, both runners in scoring position here for Mardiak. So a favorable position for Bodie Mardiak to be in. Already helped. Had a base hit earlier. This pitch from Rodriguez goes outside, 1-0 count. Rodriguez from the windup. Able to get Mardiak to chase that one out of the zone. 1-1 count. Rodriguez pitch. Mardiak fouls it away. Just gets a piece, get underneath it, fouls it off. One-two count. Umpire had to stop it. Had to dust off the home plate here. He couldn't see the zone. So the wind-up pitch. Out of the zone, 2-2 the count. Working away from Mardiak that time, and fortunate that Sharkozy was able to hold on. Here's the 2-2 from Rodriguez. Pitch on the way. Mardiak swing and strike out, and is thrown out at first.
Now back in the rows, center fielder number 3, Luke Whalen.
Whalen was pretty good his last time up, too. Had a base hit, did get thrown out at first, got caught in the pickoff. But he was pretty good. Now, this infield in play would be at the plate if you're Akins, and certainly prepared for a double. So if they're in, if I'm Whalen, try and rip this out past him. That pitch, it was a breaking ball, and it broke too far outside. Carries out of the zone. Whalen doesn't go after it. 1-0 count. Hear the groans of dismay from the Akins fan base. Here's the 1-0 from Rodriguez. Whalen's pitch popped in the air into foul territory and out of reach. So 1-1 the count. Pitch from Rodriguez. Whalen gets underneath it again to foul it off. 1-2 count. Here's Rodriguez. Sets from the windup. Fires. That is in on the chin of Luke Whalen. Doesn't make contact, but it sure got close. Whalen was willing to wear it too. 2-2 count. Rodriguez fires. Swing and a miss from Luke Whalen. Gets underneath it. And that'll bring up Osby Contreras. At a sac fly, his last time out. Pitch on the way from Rodriguez. This one down in the dirt, working away from Contreras. Maroons have 2 on and 2 out. So Osby Contreras, the last hope of Patrick Bird and Jimmy Bramble for not being stranded out there on the base paths, if he can help it. The 1-0 from Rodriguez. Contreras got a piece of it. It's a strike all the same, but he does make just a little bit of contact. Cutting over the top of it. 1-1 the count. Pitch on the way. It's a pass ball. Bird started, doesn't go. Wisely so. That rolled away, but not too far. And Rodriguez did a pretty good job coming down off the mound to try and cover the plate. So 2-1 count. Contreras calls time. Two-one count. Pitch on the way from Rodriguez. Contreras sits on it. Didn't flinch, didn't twitch at it. Evens up the count at 2-2. Pitch on the way from Rodriguez. Contreras gets underneath it. I'll keep him at the plate just a little bit longer. Here's Rodriguez. Sets, delivers. That one gets away. Here comes Patrick Bird. He'll score on the pass ball, and Bramble will advance down the line to third. And that brings the count full here for Contreras. "5-0 lead here for the Maroons with a 3-2 count. Pitch on the way. It's upstairs. Ball 4. And Osby Contreras able to stay alive. Really important there on the mound. Able to swing, able to make contact, fouls off a couple. Able to just kind of keep fighting, keep grinding away from the plate. It's a strong plate appearance. I know, in the scorebook, doesn't record a base hit, doesn't, bat anybody in, but it's a strong plate appearance. One, because it led to a pass ball, allows Bird to score. But not only that, he gets on with it, right? With a full count, takes it, ball 4. Strong plate appearance from Contreras, even if it doesn't lead necessarily directly to a base hit, to a run scored, or any of those things here for him. Still a strong plate appearance. Oh, 1 count. Ames Alejandro on deck. Landon Shipper comes in to courtesy run for Contreras. Rodriguez sets, delivers. Shipper on the move. I'll go for a strike. Wasn't fouled off. Shakozy dropped it. So Shipper, 2 now in scoring position here for the Maroons. A little defensive indifference on the part of Akins. Huff. Working against Rodriguez here. This one he rips right back up the middle. Base hit from Zach Huff. And I'll score 1, and Shipper will come to a stop at third. And Zach Huff with a base hit single and an RBI to drive in Jimmy Bramble. Puts runners at the corners and gives Austin High a 6-0 lead. And that's how Ames Alejandro will come to the plate for his second plate appearance. So a little 2 outs. Wouldn't call it necessarily a 2-out rally the way it's going, but Austin High doing some business here on the 2 outs. You can officially now, though, close the book on Marcus Malicia. He'll go down, giving up 5 runs scored. 4 of them earned. A couple on errors. 1 on error, excuse me. Actually, I think it would be 3. Yeah, 3 fully earned, 2 on errors. And here's one from Rodriguez, a little pass ball. Landon Shipper beats the throw back at the plate from Sharkozy to Rodriguez. And a 1-0 count for Ames Alejandro. Zach Huff now comes in at second. He's in scoring position. And the Maroons now lead 7-0. Pitch on the way from Rodriguez. Alejandro had to reach out, makes contact, and grounds out over to first as Jojo Gonzalez able to make the tag in time, did it all himself. So he soloed it, but it doesn't matter. Austin High scores 4 in the bottom of the third, takes a 7-0 lead. We turn things over to the top of the fourth. Carter Hayden goes back to work on the mound when we come back here on the Vibe Live Network.
At Horizon Bank, we're from here. With over 100 years of experience serving Central Texas customers and headquartered right here in downtown Austin, we're proud to support our community and the athletes who keep it strong. Stop by any of our Austin and Central Texas locations and see how we can help you meet your goals. We'd love to meet you. Or you can visit us on the web at horizonbank.com.
Welcome back. What a night to be a Maroon, huh? Also High leads Akins 7-0 here coming into the top of the fourth inning. Carter Hayden and company going back to work. Also High right now is waiting for somebody to come out for Akins. And they are like, I mean, this is something to be said. Like, they are not in a hurry. I mean, it's almost like they don't know who's up. Here we go. Turns out it was Dallas Rodriguez. It sure took them a while to come out, though, for Akins, and it just kind of, felt like, this was a little bit bizarre. Turn up our audio just a little bit. You can hear us a little bit better. 1-1 count. Rodriguez lifts this in the right center field. Martinez will scoop it up. It's a little more into right center field. Kind of like northeast, right centered. Either way, Dallas Rodriguez gets on with a base hit.
Batting for Akins, number 14, Santi Munoz.
Not only do you have that change at the pitcher, but it also brings up Santi Munoz, who comes to the plate now. 1 on, nobody out. This will be pitch number 50 here for Carter Hayden. And this one down away from Hayden, working away from Munoz. 1-0 count for him. And this pitch back inside, 1-1 count. Hayden found the zone that time. Comes back, check swing, doesn't matter. Hayden fit it right down over the plate. 1-2 count. This one popped. Huff flips it to Alejandro. Can he make the double play? Not in time. But they do take out the lead runner. Munoz will get on at first, but a really good effort. Good job by Huff. Able to make the throw, and then Alejandro to turn two. Something that this Maroon team has really kind of struggled with in years past is turn two. Being able to have enough time to turn two. They've gone up against teams with, at times a little bit more speed there. I know they didn't get the out, but they were at least able in a position to be able to make the throw in the effort to turn two. So 1 away. Pitch, swing and a miss. We have a batter up who is not in our lineup at all from what Akins handed us at the start. I thought I just missed part of it when I took the photo. Either way, 1-2 count. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Out number 2.
Batting for Akins, shortstop, number 5, Ricardo Ramos.
So that'll bring up Ramos. He's got one on, 2 away already. Carter Hayden approaching pitch number 60. The throw from Contreras is a bit high. He was never quite able to step into it. It was all arm and core on that throw. The 0-1 in there for strike 2. So Carter Hayden looking to get you out of the inning. Here will be pitch number 60 for Hayden on the evening. Doesn't get the call. Sat high there on the zone. 1-2 count. Haynes' pitch inside. Fouled off by Ricardo Ramos. Haynes' pitch came inside. Forced Ramos, got him all tangled up with it. So 1-2 the count. Haynes' pitch swung on, missed. Strike 3. So 62 pitches thrown here for Carter Hayden this evening. And he's got the Maroons with a lot of help from his lineup to a 7-0 lead. Done his part on the mound to keep that goose egg up there for Akins. We'll see if Austin High can add to their total. They'll face off against Dallas Rodriguez once again when we come back. Bottom of the 4th on the way here on the Vipe Live Network, live from Burger Field.
Hi, I'm Jenny Covert. Welcome to Covert Chevrolet in beautiful Bastrop, Texas, where small town values drive big time savings. At Covert Bastrop, we understand what matters to you most. A good deal, great service, and dealing with people you trust. What matters to you matters to us. Rooted in family values since 1909, the Coverts have been serving Central Texas for 6 generations. We want to be your car dealer. Let us prove it. Covert Chevrolet, Highway 71 in Bastrop. Together, let's drive. CovertBastrop.com.
Welcome back in. Jason Martinez will lead you back off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I tell you what, folks, Maroon's able to score a few more. You might be able to call it an early evening here tonight. Run rule is 10 after 5. Maroons are 3 runs away from being able to say they've got that. Got to get there first. Here comes Jason Martinez up to the plate. And this one goes for ball 1. Bounced off this metal cage. One-0 count. Here's Rodriguez's pitch. It's inside. Martinez not in a rush to wear it. 2-0 the count, as Martinez had to throw his hips back to avoid taking the hit. Charles Dice on deck. Patrick Bird in behind him on standby. This will be pitch number 25 here for Dallas Rodriguez, coming in relief of Marcus Malicia. Pitch. Rodriguez finally able to find the zone. Righty versus lefty here. Drops that in on the inside corner here against Martinez. And Martinez fouls this off. Evens up the count, 2-2. Pitch on the way. Alex Rodriguez trying to backdoor break a ball in on Martinez and just doesn't get it out over the plate. 3-2 count. And the windup. Martinez. I'll say he found that off. So Jason Martinez will stay up there. Wasn't quite sure. It didn't. Sometimes normally you can hear it. Didn't quite hear it, but it said he got a piece of it. Like even with the headset on, I can usually hear when he make contact. Didn't hear it that time, but rolled foul. He'll do it again here, so we remain at a full count. Pitch on the way, down in the dirt, ball 4. So Jason Martinez able to keep battling, able to keep fighting up there at the plate. And that's what brings us runner on the move. Martinez beat the throw. One-0 count here for Charles Dice. Martinez in scoring position. Gets there on the steal. This will advance him on the pass ball. And that'll put Charles Dice ahead in the count. 2-0 count for him. And Martinez now 90 feet away from scoring. The 2-0 pitch upstairs. 3-0 count. The windup here from Rodriguez. Down in the dirt, ball 4. Runners at the corners now, nobody out. Pretty good situation then for Patrick Bird. And we'll have a meeting at the mound here with Rodriguez now. Well, now we have another change here on the mound. Rodriguez's evening is through. We got a lot of changes actually coming here. So not only is Rodriguez's night through, Alfonso Ramos will move over from third. It looks like Jojo Gonzalez will then move over from first to third. Rodriguez is going to stay in on the infield. Not sure where they're going to move him, if they're going to pull him at first. Kind of hard to tell with everybody standing kind of behind the mound like they are. But for sure, Gonzalez moves over to third. Dallas Rodriguez will move over to first. So Akins on their third pitcher here tonight. And keep in mind, they're going to have to turn around and play again on Thursday. So you lose a day of rest as things currently stand here for Akins. Meanwhile, Austin High, Carter Hayden, 62 pitches in, still going strong for the Maroons. Almost kind of like, dare I say, Jake Beck's going to be one of the all-time great Maroon pitchers. Like, that's not really in question. But Carter Hayden, the way he's throwing this season and kind of become that same caliber of an ace for Austin High, I will throw him into that conversation. Into the same, I guess, tier, if you will, as it stands. Mr. James Scott can come on, tell me how wrong I am if he wants to for the Bowie series. Or if he wants to hop on non-district game against San Marcos, hey, why not? Hey, either way, nobody out. Runners at the corners for Bird. Dice. Well, and a really good job here. Sarkozy wasn't thrown by Dice making the play for second. He made the throw to Gonzalez at third. And fortunately, Martinez and Coach A aware enough that it didn't matter. So Dice advances 90 feet on the fielder's choice there. Throw on the way. 1-1 count. It's in, pass ball. Here comes Martinez. And Jason Martinez comes aboard. Two-one count for Patrick Bird. And the runner now standing in at third is Dice. Bird rips a base hit up the middle. Charlie Dice, he could have walked home at that speed after the big hit. Thanks to Bird. Pulls the Maroons up to 9. Brings Jimmy Bramble to the plate. Bramble's had a busy afternoon. He's got on twice, scored once, and now has an opportunity to advance the Maroon cause even further. So Bird standing at first, avoids the pickoff attempt. Here comes Bramble. Working against Ramos. Alfonso Ramos' pitch sits above the zone. 1-0 count here for Bramble. Bramble up there with Martinez. Usually really, really good plate discipline from Jimmy Bramble. You see him at the plate. This one, he'll get underneath, fouls it off. 1-1 pitch was way outside here for Ramos, so 2-1 count here for Bramble. And now they'll call in a courtesy runner for the Maroons.
Pitch right for Maroons, number 24, Bryce English.
So Bryce English will come in to courtesy run for Patrick Bird. Got a little bit more speed out there. On a 2-1 count, Bramble got a piece of the 2-1 offering there from Ramos, so 2-2 count. Here comes Bramble. Pitch on the way. Bramble pops, lifts that into shallow right field. It's dropped. And English is going to advance. That's a massive error at this stage. Coach A tells English to hit the brakes. And now the Maroons have 2 in scoring position for Luke Whalen. Excuse me, I got ahead of myself. Martiak's up first. Whalen comes next. I jumped the gun. Either way, the way it's going, Whalen will see the plate either way. More than likely here, he'll stand in on deck. Pitch on the way here from Ramos. Blown away, ball 1, Maroons. Lead by 9. This one drops in. Strike 1 here. Pitch on the way from Ramos. Able to find the zone. 1-2 count. Here's Martiak. Standing at the plate. Westlake Bowie Series who kicks off here in a little bit. That one gets ripped down the third baseline in foul territory. Game 1 of the Bowie Westlake Series will follow our game here. Then they will turn around, play again tomorrow night out at Westlake. 1-2 count. 2 on and in scoring position here for Bodie Martiak. Pitch on the way from Ramos. That's in, 2-2 the count. Infield is in. Play would be at the plate here for Akins. That's their focus right now. All in on the grass for the most part, except for Gonzalez. Got to hold Martinez at third. Pitch on the way. Upstairs, ball 3 brings the count full. And Alfonso Ramos in danger of loading the bases here. Payoff pitch from Ramos. Fires. And that is in at the belt level. And I'll go for ball 4. Too far inside. Loads of bases. And that's what brings Luke Whalen to the plate. Don't know about Akins' pitching depth, but got to think, I mean, their roster isn't nearly quite as full as Austin High's. Got to think you're getting close to the cusp of it if you're Akins. Here's Whalen. The Maroons leading by 9. Bases loaded. Whalen will take here for strike 1. Usually takes that first pitch. Pitch on the way from Ramos. Whalen got out in front. 0-2 count. Pitch from Ramos. In and above. Right at the hands. 1-2 count. Whalen reaches out, pops that one into right field. Everybody tags up. That's the sac fly. English slides in. Safe! And Bryce English scores! And now all kinds of chaos. They got so focused on the play at the plate. Everybody else was able to advance. And so Luke Whalen, yeah, he gets the out. That's a massive sacrifice. Brings one aboard, advances everybody 90 feet. 2 in scoring position now here for Osby Contreras. With only the 1 out, Maroons lead by 10 here, bottom of the 4th inning. And again, run rule 10 after 5. So all of a sudden, all the pressure now on Akins when we get to the top of the 5th inning to see if they can answer anything on the base paths, and they're going to have to do that of their own accord. This one ripped from Contreras out to left field. Everybody tags up. Bramble able to score. And so another sac fly, this time from Contreras. But it gives the Maroons an 11-run lead. Holds Martiak at second. And that's what Zach Huff will come to the plate with. 2 away and 1 in scoring position for Austin High. Bottom of the 4th. Ramos peeking over his shoulder at Martiak. Pitch on the way. Huff! Line drive, stays fair. And Huff rounds first. Martiak will score. Zach Huff rounding third, and they hit the brakes. And Zach Huff with a base hit. And an RBI triple for Zach Huff. Gives the Maroons a 12-run lead. Here comes Ames Alejandro now. He can get on base. You turn the order over for Austin High. Huff 90 feet away down the line at third and in scoring position. Ramos sets, fires. And Alejandro will take here for strike 1. Pitch on the way. Alejandro takes a swing. Can't catch up. 0-2. Ramos pitch. In there, they'll get him for strike 3, and Alfonso Ramos gets Akins out of the inning, but not before Austin High rattles off 5 here in the bottom of the 4th. They take a 12-run lead and will turn to the top of the 5th. Akins is going to need to do some work if they hope to keep this ball game going. We'll find out if they can when we come back. You're watching Maroon Baseball here on the Vibe Live Network.
Nance Orthodontics is committed to providing the highest quality orthodontics for the Austin community. Dr. Nance is a board-certified orthodontist and offers Invisalign and braces to create beautiful smiles. Our friendly team is passionate about creating beautiful, life-changing smiles for all ages. With the latest technological advances, patient comfort and happiness are our highest priority. Give us a call for your complimentary consultation today.
Welcome back in on the Vibe Line. Maroon baseball. We'll turn to the top of the 5th inning, where the Maroons have a 12-run lead. And this is the last half inning, really, for Akins.
Back for Akins, number 25, Frank Gomez.
So Frank Gomez steps to the plate here for the Eagles. And Gomez pops this, gets down as a base hit in front of Luke Whalen.
Back for Akins, number 17, Alex Galati. Pitch running for Akins, number 6, Dylan Cagle.
Dylan Cagle comes in, courtesy running for Gomez. And this pitch. One-oh count. Now the 1-1 as Alex Galati takes a swing at it. Two-one the count. Nick Carhane just kind of selling here. 2-1 count, 1 on. And the throw to first is in time. Cagle gets thrown out. So 2-1 count now, nobody on. And there's strike 3 very quick.
Back for Akins, number 4, Alonzo Elizondo.
So 2 outs. Alonzo Elizondo. Carter Hayden can end this. Pitch in there, strike 1. Well, he won't record a no-hitter, but he can leave you with no runs scored. Pitch on the way, in there, strike 2. One ball, 2 strikes here for the Maroons. Swing and miss, strikeout. Contreras is going to have to make the throw to Bramble in time. Pulled him off the bag. So Elizondo does get on. The inning will continue, at least
For Akins, number 12,
a little bit longer.
Sarkozy.
So Sarkozy come to the plate here for Akins. He's been behind the plate as the catcher for Akins for the better part of the evening tonight. His first plate appearance of the series here, as he has been DH'd for tonight. 0-1 count now as Hayden fires again. This one ripped right back up to Alejandro, and a little fielder's choice there to retire the side and brings this one to an end. Austin High shuts out Akins 12-0 in as complete of a game that Austin High has played all season long. And certainly, you know, you go back to the Del Valle series, the last time really Austin High has played that complete of a game and a win. They do their part, right? And it's really... Okay, we'll bring you back in. Here we go. All right. Just to get our closing thoughts in here. So Austin High, 12-0. Again, as complete of a game as they have played since the Del Valle series, no question at all. And like I said really at the start of the broadcast, this has been about kind of getting right. Getting back to fundamentals. It's a get-right series a little bit here for Austin. Akins struggling, unfortunately. This is Austin High's opportunity to, A, get healthy. This is the most important thing, I think, for Austin High, if they can come out of this series with the full pitching rotation healthy, right? Get Martinez back, get him back in the swing of things. Certainly look good offensively tonight. You can get his arm going again, helps you out. The other part of this then, too, that becomes this is kind of a momentum builder, right? Builds you some momentum into the holiday weekend. You come out of the weekend, you get a little bit of extra time. You'll have a non-district game next Friday against San Marcos, and then it sets you up for the Bowie series. Really, really important series for Austin High. Have to take game 2 on Thursday night for that to mean as much as it looks right now on paper. But Carter Hayden, outstanding night for him tonight on the mound for Austin High, and then efficient work on the base paths from top to bottom of the lineup. Everybody got on the base. Everybody was able to go around a couple times here, at least on the merry-go-round, and an impressive, dominant win from Austin High. They shut out Akins 12-0, the final score in this one. So that will do it for us. And on behalf of our entire broadcast crew, that will bring us to a close here from Burger Field. So on behalf of Skylar Gillespie, our quality control assistant back home, on behalf of Director of Broadcasting, Merle Bertrand, I'm David Roy signing off here from Burger Field. Austin High back into the win column. They close out and shut out Akins 12-0, the final score here from Burger. We will see you back here, currently scheduled